Good morning. Can you hear me? Is the microphone on? Good. All right. I need to know if I need to be loud and project in the back of the room or if the microphone's doing it. So we're good? No. All right, now. All right. That's what I need to know. Guys, you got me back there? No. All right. Well, guess what? Deal with that thing, okay? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, it helps to be a big mouth, and this is one of those occasions. Good morning.
Good morning.
Y'all doing all right? Yeah. Enjoying your spring break? Yeah. It's almost over, all right? So we expect to see you first thing in the morning. Hey, this week I did a little cleaning at my house. We're without it, guys. Did a little cleaning. Surprise, surprise. If you've seen my office, you know how big of an ordeal that is for me to do some cleaning. In my ditty bag, I found, you know what a ditty bag is? It's a men's shaving kit, and I have not cleaned that out since probably I was a missionary 20 years ago, okay? So there had been a lot of accumulation of a lot of things that needed to be taken care of. So I began to throw things away and sort things out. Oh, you're killing me, Bill. Those of you that know me know that I talk with my hands, and so this is going to be a challenge. Anyway, I found something in my ditty bag this week that I forgot I had. A Swiss Army knife. Like one of the little pocket versions. I mean, it's very cool, but it has been in there for over 20 years. It's pristine. I mean, I could sell that thing on eBay and get a lot of money for it, I'm certain. By just a show of hands, and I can barely see you, how many of y'all own a Swiss Army knife? All right, there's a few hands. I see those hands. All right, how many of you actually use your Swiss Army knife? All right, very good. I mean, you know, you think about this little tool, it makes me wonder about the Swiss Army, to be honest with you. I mean, really, a corkscrew, a bottle opener, toothpicks, tweezers, coupon scissors. I mean, really, come on, do you need those things to go to battle? I think about that, and I look at it, and I'm like, you know, I'm convinced the Salvation Army has seen more battle action than the Swiss Army, you know? I mean, the reality is, they're in it for the good times, evidently. But as you look at that, you start to think about how useful of a tool it really is. It's an amazing little tool. Without that Swiss Army knife, MacGyver wouldn't have lasted for one season. I mean, it's a miraculous little deal. The Salvation, or the Swiss Army knife. But it's really, if you really think about it seriously, it's a pocket knife with a variety of accessories that are so useful. You can tell the ones that get used a lot because they're beaten and they're worn and the blades are dull. Today, someone loaned me their Swiss Army knife, and you can tell, I don't know if you can really see it, but this one has been through the ringer. It's been used a lot, and this is a unique Swiss Army knife. It's what I would refer to as a holy Swiss Army knife. Not Swiss cheese holy, that kind of thing. That's kind of corny. But this one had been used so much it had gotten dirty. The reason it's holy is because the people, to clean it up, they boiled the devil out of it. I mean, it is holy. They've boiled it well and have used it quite often. Anyway, if you look at this version, if I had two hands, I would open up some of the accessories for you. Within this knife, there are scissors, two different size knife blades, a Phillips head screwdriver, a regular screwdriver, a corkscrew, a bottle opener, a hole punch, a file, a mini saw blade, tweezers, a magnifying glass, a ruler, a can opener, basically anything you need to slice, dice, or make julienne fries. I mean, it has it. It is there. And what I have found about the Swiss Army knife,
The more you use it, the more uses you find for it, and the more reliable you find it to be. But I can't tell you how many Christmases, probably in the neighborhood of 20 at this point, how many Christmases it's been in my ditty bag, and I could have really used a blade to open up my packages. You know, a Swiss Army knife, or any pocket knife for that matter, is useless if it is not utilized. We're in this series on God's grace, the good news about grace. And it got me to thinking about looking at the Salvation, or the Swiss Army knife. I keep calling it the Salvation Army knife. The Swiss Army knife, and how, you know, God's grace, that's God's Swiss Army knife, isn't it? It is one item with many facets to it that accomplishes a variety of functions. Think about it. There's saving grace, and forgiving grace, and healing grace, and transforming grace, and liberating grace. But they are totally worthless if we fail to use them. Today I want to continue in this series, The Good News About Grace, and I want us to focus this morning on sustaining grace.